one of the things that I realized is that one of the easiest ways to grow a law firm, and the lawyers that I work with that have the most success, there's never like one like thing that they did that took them from here to there, right? It's always a series of things. And there's a book called Atomic Habits by James Clear that talks about a concept called the aggregation of marginal gains. And essentially what that is, that's trying to figure out, instead of just, and what he talks about is he talks about the British cycling team. And the British cycling team from 1900 to about 2003 was absolutely terrible, right? And what they did is they hired a new performance coach in 2003, and he implemented a system called the aggregation of marginal gains. And basically what that was instead of just trying one thing, like instead of just saying, okay, we're going to figure out how we can pedal the fastest. I mean, that's what they've been trying to do for 100 years and it didn't work, right? So they figured, okay, what are all the 1% micro improvements that we can make across every single thing that we do so that ultimately we can get better, right? So what they did is they like literally did everything. They focused on what is the material that their clothes are made out of. They rubbed alcohol on the tires so they get better grip. They tested which mattresses led to better night's sleep so they could recover better and they could train better. They figured out which pillows were better. They figured out which helmets to use. They figured out which massage gels led to the fastest recovery time. They even did things like they painted the inside of their trailer where they did all the repairs. They painted it white so they could make sure that the bikes were clean and all that type of stuff. They hired a surgeon to teach them how to properly wash their hands so they wouldn't get sick, so they wouldn't miss training days, right? So they found all these little 1% micro improvements, and the results were ridiculous. Like ever since they did that, the British cycling team is one of the top teams in cycling now. I mean, they've won like 100 plus gold medals, world championship medals. They've won the Tour de France 5 times. I think in the 100 years leading up to that, they didn't win the Tour de France a single time, right? So the idea is, how can we take this concept, the aggregation of marginal gains, and how can we apply it to our law firms, right? Like how can we, instead of just saying, oh, I just need more leads, right? How can we figure out what are all the 1% increments that we can focus on that we can actually use to generate more leads? And that's essentially what it is. And it's like, you can look at, okay, what about my follow-up system? Do I follow up with people? Okay, well, there's lots of things I can do in my follow-up, so I can work on that. What about lead generation? Are there other things that I'm not doing? Am I taking full advantage of social? Am I taking full advantage of paid ads? Am I taking full advantage of organic Google, right? And how can we optimize those things? Even just like little 1% things, like just change the headline on your website and just, do things like that. And basically, if you start looking at every single function of your law firm and start improving it by just 1%, even down to like, okay, let's look at how we answer the phone. What is the person who's answering the phone saying, and how can we optimize that and make it better, right? And then you make little 1% improvements like that, and at the end, your law firm is a well-oiled machine, and it really, really works. It's pretty cool. It's what I do for my business as well, and it's allowed us to take off like crazy.